Hello and blessings, beautiful souls. Sarava and Ashe to you. How are you, you beautiful witches and card slingers? I sincerely hope that today you're having an amazing day, and no matter where you are and whatever you are doing, I sincerely hope that you are surrounded by magic, as per usual, because every day holds an incredible amount of enchantment and magic, and that is at the very core of my belief system. So today is a bit of a challenging day over here because I have one little one at home sick. I'm taking another one to school. The other one is with father, and I've got so much to do because, of course, I'm having ongoing technical issues. Yesterday, I thought that I had some form of success uploading a video to my Coven tier, and as it turns out, the video was cut in half, and I'm like, oh, why? So I have to go back and revise that one, have a look at what exactly happened and see if I can upload. Also, due to technical issues, my vlog from yesterday uploaded late today. So that was annoying, just annoying. So yesterday's vlog, instead of uploading at like 6 o'clock, which is when I usually schedule my vlogs, it uploaded somewhere in the vicinity of like 8:30 or 9 o'clock or something like that. And it just, issues. So I'm late to school this morning, and I just hope that this school finds my tardiness as charming as, well, nobody does. I've got so much work today, and I'm not going to get to any of it because sick little kids and tech issues. So I'm trying to stay positive, you know, on those days where you're just like really obstructed, or there seems to be obstacles at every turn, and none of them are really bad, they're just very work related. And yesterday when I was at Gordon's place, I was like, I understand why, because we had a little astrology chat, and well, basically it's an issue. This Merc retro is hitting me in my second house. It's so fun. On the plus side, I have mail. So I get back home and I've got a bit of a predicament because I've only had 1 cup of coffee today, which is annoying me, and I need more because I'm a coffee person in the morning. I don't need to explain myself. I know you know what I'm talking about, right, friends? So I get here and there is almost an entire French press full. So I poured some out and then I tested the temperature and it was damn well cold. Now I don't have kind of heating stuff. We don't do microwaves here. The stove is obviously not on at the moment, and the gas cooker is just annoying to use. So I'm looking over here at my Vitamix, and I know that it has a soup function which can actively cook soup. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to use to heat my coffee. I don't know if it's going to work, but hey, like, what's the harm in trying? Look at it! It's like caramel now. Okay, here is hoping that it is warm enough to drink. Look at that steam! Let us now see what it tastes like. Give it a wee stir. Success! Yes! Something went right today! I'm so excited! Coffee, warm. Yes, it used an enormous amount of power to do that, but you know what? Sometimes you have to be a little bit more innovative with your approaches to things when you live off-grid. my fire on. Check out the little chimney bit up there. It's so exciting. And I have been sitting alongside my fire with my two little ones at home, one who's not feeling very well. And I have just been writing away for the exploration of the earth element that my beautiful witch weaver coven and I are doing. And I found myself relishing in this idea that I haven't actually spoken of before. And the reason why I decided to speak about it right now is because at the same time as I was writing this, I was also having a beautiful and meaningful conversation with the lovely Alvine Green. Anyway, long story short was I'm writing about the earth, I'm writing about the seasons, I'm writing about the celebrations, and I found myself, of course, writing about the neo-pagan wheel of the year. And I also found myself sharing a very personal story, which I would enjoy sharing with you right now. And that is that now that I live in a temperate climate, I find it very easy to connect with this idea of the neo-pagan wheel of the year and the festival, or the Sabbaths as they are known. And that was something that I had for the longest time attempted to do while I was living up in the tropics. Now, it is not impossible to do this, but it is very time consuming, very cumbersome. You have to be very dedicated, you have to be completely driven by the idea that you want to do this. And this is exactly how it was for me. But now that I look back, I would have done things so differently. I wouldn't have put so much pressure on myself to fit a mold. I would not have placed so much emphasis on following something because the greater population, or the greater community I should say, did follow it. And while at my core I realized that it felt cumbersome, it felt a little bit awkward, I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed going through the process because it bonds community. There's nothing more exciting than being able to share your Sabbath altar, your Beltane altar, your Samhain altar, these beautiful altars, and I still love that, and that's such a joy to my heart to be able to do. But at its core, I can see how each and every one of us can celebrate the solstices and the equinoxes, so the 4 primary points. And then the cross-quarter days, which are your major Sabbaths on the neo-pagan wheel of the year, they are something that don't fit absolutely everyone. And yes, you can absolutely choose to celebrate them, and I have had so much awesome joy and magic bursting forth from my heart because I do choose to celebrate them. But lately I'm reflecting on that, and as I deepen my practice as far as my desire to honor my ancestry and my roots, I find that I'm starting to drift away from the more neo-pagan wheel, and I'm exploring my own seasonal celebrations, my own personal celebrations, in keeping with my particular geographical location, with how I physically respond to that, to what I see in the landscape around me, from that visual perspective and that intuitive perspective, coupled with the energy of community. And I mean, it all comes down to your biosphere at the end of the day. And one thing is clear, I have never had a problem connecting with the energy of Samhain, because here in Australia, we celebrate Anzac Day, which falls around the same time as Samhain. And so the emphasis is actually placed on the Festival of the Dead in a very different, very Australian manner. Would you believe that it took me quite a bit of time to notice the timing of those events, the neo-pagan Samhain and Australia's Anzac Day? I mean, it's obvious and it's always been there, but it took me time because I was fixated on the wheel as it was. I wanted to make the wheel fit me. And this was at a time where I was really grappling for belonging, for meaning, at a time where I felt quite lost and quite young. As it stands now, I'm really looking forward to just finding my own rhythm on that wheel, creating a wheel of my very own, and looking for deeper meaning in the way that I both practice and celebrate what I believe deserves to be venerated. And I no longer feel as though I want to be dictated by something that just doesn't resonate with me as completely as I feel that it should. And it's a really, really freeing type of experience to embrace. And I would like to put it out there for others to consider it, because if you, like me, were living in a place where just following that neo-pagan wheel just did not make sense. It's hot. Like, Cairns was hot. It was so fucking hot. And I don't really work with the god Lu. So come Lammas, come Lunasa, early February at the peak of the heat. Yes, it felt solar and I could connect with the solar aspect of that. But did I connect with the Celtic god? No, I didn't. And so what I did was I turned it into a solar festival, which at its core it was. And my coven and I gave it the name Solaris. And so we celebrated Solaris and we made candles in the same way as, you know, they sometimes did at the time of Imbolc. And it was to connect with fire and connect with the sun in a way. And it was just so freeing and meaningful and beautiful and emotional to do that. And I would like to leave that with you and see how you feel about that. And if it's an idea that you have personally thought about or ruminated over in any way, because we all live in such different locations in the world, and many times the wheel of the year will fit, especially if you live in a perfectly temperate climate. And I find here in Tasmania you will find such a climate. It's absolutely beautiful and you can see the visual change of the seasons, but there are many places that are not like this, where you will get something totally different. There'll be totally different seasonal rhythms and festivals and many other things to consider. So that was just my today's thought to share with you, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And so I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope I was able to offer you food for thought. It was not my intention to offend anyone. It was not my intention to pick apart a practice that may be of genuine and authentic enhancement and magic to another person. That is not my intention. My intention is just to remind you that there is never just one way of practicing the craft, and that it is really important to make your craft your own. And so with that said, I'm just sending you so much love, luck, peace and joy, and no matter where you are and whatever you are doing, I sincerely hope that you are surrounded by magic. And if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to my channel. Mwah. Bye.